Assalamu alaikum to all viewers. Welcome to my channel. In this video we will discuss about the in this video on or on this channel we will discuss about the cyclone resistance system. What is the cyclone resistance system? We will discuss that on this channel. Now our video title is that where do cyclones drive their energy. So let's start it. We will discuss about that. Where do cyclones drive their energy? Structurally, a tropical cyclone is a large rotating system of clouds, winds, and thunderstorms. Its primary energy source is the release of the heat of condensation from water vapor condensing at high altitude. The heat being ultimately derived from the sun. It basically says that structurally a tropical cyclone is a large rotating system of clouds, wind, and thunderstorms. Its primary energy source is the release of the heat of condensation from water vapor condensing at high altitude. The heat being ultimately derived from the sun. And you can see here the tropical cyclones. Tropical cyclone is a large rotating low pressure storm. Where do tropical cyclones get their energy from? Water. Tropical oceans. Latent heat stored from evaporation is released when air rises and becomes clouds. A low pressure area combined with the Coriolis effect creates cyclonic rotation around weather disturbances along the intertropical convergence zone. Where do tropical cyclones derive their energy? The main energy source of a tropical cyclone is a water vapor, which is abundant in the oceans and seas. When the sun heat up the earth's surface, water vapor evaporates into the atmosphere and condenses into water droplets. A great amount of heat energy which is locked up in the water vapor is released. Also we go on the Google and see the websites which give them more detail about the tropical cyclones and mechanics of the tropical cyclones. And we see here therefore a tropical cyclone can be thought of as a giant vertical heat engine supported by mechanics driven by physical forces such as the rotation and gravity of the earth. In another way, tropical cyclones could be viewed as a special type of molecular convection complex which continues to develop over a vast source of relative warmth and moisture. Condension lead to higher with speeds as a tiny fraction of the released energy is converted into mechanical energy. The faster winds and lower pressure associated with them in turn cause increased surface evaporation and thus more condensation. Much of the released energy drives updrafts that increases the height of the storm clouds, which are very helpful for the daily life. This gives rise to factors that provide the system with enough energy to be self-sufficient and cause a positive feedback loop where it can draw more energy as long as the source of heat, warm water, remains. Factors such as a continued lack of equilibrium in air mass distribution would also give sporting energy to the cyclone. The rotation of the earth causes the system to spin, an effect known as the Coriolis effect, giving it a cyclonic characteristics and affecting the trajectory of the storm. You can see here it gives the almost best information, which is really helpful. Now we go on the another website which gives the more detail about that. You can see here about tropical cyclones. Oceans and seas have great influence on the weather of continental masses. A large portion of the solar energy reaching the sea surface is expanded in the process of evaporation. These water evaporated from the sea ocean is carried up into the atmosphere and condenses, forming clouds from which all forms of precipitation results. Sometimes intense cyclonic circulations occur, which is what we call the tropical cyclones.